Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe von SE Talk. Bin nach wie vor in Vancouver, Fabian Baker von mir, Tethyan. Und die haben ein Projekt in Serbien unten. Und ich habe als letztes Interview an der PDEC gemacht, habe einen Conflict of Interest. Ich bin Aktionär. Und ja, Fabian wird mir jetzt dann ein Update geben, was das Neues getan hat. Fabian, thank you to have time. First, I have a conflict of interest. I'm a shareholder. So what's happened since our last interview the last interview or first interview we done was PDSC. So it's since March. What's happened?
Yeah, well, quite a lot of change actually. The area we were exploring in Serbia, we acquired extra licenses, so now we've consolidated the whole area. We have 450 square kilometers under exploration license. This includes an area with 2 historical producing lead zinc mines. I may have mentioned before in one of our conversations, but the area when this was Yugoslavia was the largest producer of lead and zinc in Europe in the 1900s. Since the conflicts in that area, all the mines stopped, but there's still a lot of resources in the ground. So we now have this huge land position around some old mines, and really we have the 2 stories. One is a copper gold porphyry, and just 5 kilometers away we have a brownfields project, so surrounding the old mine we have a zinc, lead and silver asset. And this one is more new for the story with Tethyan. So we're developing both of those, but the big news lately is this new zinc story, and we drilled it for the first time and released results about 2 weeks ago.
So how the results looks like?
Yeah, very interesting. We knew that we would likely find some good mineralization because we're near the old mine. But we were pretty surprised with how good the results were. We had near surface, about 70 meters below surface, we hit 12 meters at 35% zinc equivalent. So it's about 22% zinc, 10% lead, and between 5 and 6 ounces of silver.
That's very good numbers, but so what you're doing with the numbers and going forward with them?
Yeah,
so what do you do?
Well, that was the real high grade. We also had another drill hole drilled underneath this one, which had a similar high grade zone, 13 meters. That's about 18% lead and zinc, or zinc equivalent. But actually, this one had a big, broad zone of mineralization. We had an intersection with 43 meters at 7.3% zinc equivalent.
And you said it was underneath.
Yeah, underneath the high grade.
So how deep underneath?
Well, this was 40 meters deeper.
So that's mean this one is a 70, so it's mean 220 meters or something?
That's where it started, and then it continues deeper, 40 meters down the drill hole. So actually, we drilled 4 drill holes. We hit mineralization between 70 meters and about 180 meters below surface.
And the deepest, how deep you go with the drill?
About 200 meters.
So maybe there's a third layer or something?
Oh yeah, it's completely open at depth. So
do you have any historical data from the old producing mines? How deep going there?
On this one, this exact mine, we're not sure. But in the region, the big famous mine, which is not too far from here, it went down 900 meters. These systems are very big. In a vertical extent, they can be very, very significant. One of the other zinc targets within our licenses, it was just one drill hole, but it hit 6 lead zinc veins. The first one it hit at about 100 meters depth. The deepest one was nearly 500 meters. So you can see that we can drill more holes now deeper underneath the recent results, and I think very quickly we can show quite a big resource and really add tons very quickly.
We know exactly exploration is an expensive business. You must spend a lot of money to increase the resource. Okay, for sure, if you find something, it's great. But in general, or what is your feeling? The feeling at the moment what I have is that the resource market really is not really in a great shape.
I would say, we're not in a bull market.
That's
for sure.
That's for sure.
But I wouldn't say it's totally a bear market. What it seems like now is that good stories, good quality stories, are being recognized, and the share prices are moving. But there isn't money for really speculative deals or projects that don't have a really clear path forwards. So that's what we're trying to do with this one. It's an old mining area. There's lots of historical data, and based on these drill holes we had, my aim now, I can see a very clear path. Mm-hmm. Our aim is to have a resource ready by June next year, in the next 9 months. Mm-hmm. And then quickly after that, release a preliminary economic assessment. Mm-hmm. So our aim is a preliminary economic assessment within 12 months of now. Mm-hmm. So to go from where we are now, which, I would say this, I'm the CEO, but, we're not well recognized. The asset, I think, is clearly undervalued. But if we can show a resource and some good economics related to this in the next 12 months, we should really see the share price move, because it's these real stories that will get attention in the market.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What is your general feeling? Everybody in the market looks also, or has his private vision for the overall markets, not only for your company. So do you think that, and you say it, we are not in the bull market, we are not really in the bear market, or it feels not like a bear market, but do you see that all this, what's going outside, this China, US trade war, Trump by itself, coming to a point that maybe people looking then also to resource, or you think it's, what's your personal feeling about the market?
I think now is a good moment and people are starting to look again at investing in this market in mining. Mm-hmm. It's been a difficult time since really 2012, let's say. So it's been a long time since we've seen any real move. But in 2016, the majors and things did see a nice improvement on their share prices. And then I think recently, and this relates as well to where we are in Serbia, we're seeing a lot more. There's some M&A activity. Lundin were bidding on Nevsun, and then Zijing Mining have come in with more than $1.4 billion offer. There was the South 32 acquisition of Arizona Mining, multi-billion-dollar deal. We just saw Randgold and Barrick merger announced. So I think people are getting themselves ready for the next bull run.
Coming back to Serbia itself, is Serbia a good place to be?
Yeah, I really feel strongly that it's emerging as one of the top, let's say, emerging jurisdictions for mining. There's been a huge push by the government to encourage people to invest there. They introduced a new mining law just about 2 years ago, and it's working because suddenly you have a lot of the major companies there. There's Freeport, who have been working with Nevsun. Rio Tinto are quite active there. They have a lithium project, but they're also looking for copper opportunities. Other groups such as Eldorado Gold, First Quantum, Dundee Precious Metals, and a handful of other juniors are very active there. So right now, Serbia is a hot place to be. It's an area that I think companies are comfortable with enough to really invest money, which is great for us because we want to set ourselves up to be an acquisition target.
So to summarize, Serbia is a good place to be. Second is, your personal view is that it's now the right time, that maybe in general the resource market is starting. And the third is, you're coming up with really good results with the past drilling, and now set up, or your goal is for the next 9 months a resource calculation, and for the next year and a little bit plus PA.
Absolutely.
This is the goal, and with the PA and the resource, you believe that you can move the share price much higher to run for the next financings.
Yes, absolutely. That's the plan. And no, I feel very confident about this. We're in a good position to really start moving now.
Okay, thank you for the update. Ja, das war ein Update von Tethyan. Also, ich habe es kurz zusammengefasst. Serbien ist ein guter Platz, um Minen aktiv zu sein, vor allem weil es auch Braunfeld war, also nicht nur irgendwelche neue Exploration, sondern er hat es auch schön beschrieben, zu Jugoslawiens Zeiten war es der größte Bereich von Rohstoffproduktion in Europa. Dann seine persönliche Meinung ist, dass der Rohstoffpreis oder Markt eigentlich drehen sollte. Dritte ist, sie sind mit Ergebnissen rausgekommen, die waren sehr gut. 35% Zink-Äquivalent, also richtig hohe Zahlen, 70 Meter tief. Weiter unter haben sie nur mehr einen Layer gefunden mit 18% und so weiter Zink-Äquivalent, also sehr gut. Und das Ziel ist jetzt einfach, in den nächsten 9 Monaten Ressource-Schätzung zu bringen und in den nächsten 12 Monaten PE rauszubringen, weil mit dem glaubt er, dass er die guten Stories dementsprechend am Markt Resonanz erzeugen können und dementsprechend auch einen höheren Share Price. Ich hoffe, er hat recht, ich bin ja Aktionär und schauen wir mal, wie es weiterläuft. Das war Tethyan, Fabian Baker, September 2018. Tschüss und Baba. Thank you.
Danke.